How many people here have invested with us or up in Northeast BC? Okay. Way back in 1996, actually with the same developer, Dave Steele, I invested in Fort McMurray. I invested early, and I watched my investment for 3 years thinking, what did I do? Now, I'm sure some of those that have invested with us since 2015 probably have the same feeling and thoughts. I'm believing I'm seeing deja vu. I like what's happening in Northeast BC right now, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. We're talking about Fort St. John. One of the things that I love about the product that we are marketing up there for investors is they're brand new. And what brand new brings to the plate is low maintenance, separately metered, easy to manage, easy to rent. So in terms of the spectrum of rental properties, renting brand new is exceptional. And residential, when the market's good and there's short supply, is amazing and can be. So this was just a day ago. This was released. It looks like, feels like, and there's lots of talk right now, that Shell is going to go ahead with the LNG. That's a lot of money being invested. That's going to impact this region very substantially. This was just a comment or a quote by the mayor of Kitimat. It's exciting. People are coming. It's happening. This is a stunning investment. It's the largest private investment in BC's history. $40 billion invested into a community of less than 8,000. The impact is going to be unheard of, and I can only imagine it because I was part of the Fort McMurray story. And I can tell you that was one of the best investments I ever made. Not without volatility, not without being nervous, but it was a very good investment. These are just some of the articles that we're seeing. Shell is a gas company. They changed their name to Gas and Oil. They are focused on LNG. They believe there is going to be a tremendous shortage. There's a big gap in supply. I know we hear that the US is doing a lot of development and producing LNG and is ahead of us. We are still the shortest journey to Asia. These are just a few of the articles. I've seen more articles in the last 2 months than I have seen in 2 years. I'm excited. Pipeline activity is incredible. This pipeline is a $2.8 billion investment and was just announced. Again, we are looking to be headed into a very, very strong period for this region of the country. I think if you're an investor, you want to look to say when is the best time to invest? When everyone else is, or before everyone else does? Right now in Northeast BC, there's around $37 billion of investment capital being invested right now. The LNG will double this. One development. It has the highest per capita being invested of any region in Canada with Site C Dam. BC Business ranked Fort St. John #1. Look at the median income, $139,000. More importantly, look at the under 35. How many people are under 35 in the room? How many people are making $123,000 today, under 35? Not many in the Lower Mainland. That's what's going to drive a lot of the housing market here. So, we know that Site C was stalled, but it's now a go. More importantly, it's going to cost a lot more. That's great for Northeast BC. What we have seen, and if we've been up there investing, is that the rental market was slow. The real estate market was slow. Everything came to almost a grinding halt. Now what we're seeing is a lot of interest, a lot of leasing activity. We're on the ground. We've got boots on the ground. We've been there for 3 years. We know when the market's turning. It's going to create a lot of jobs. And the economic impact is very significant for the province of British Columbia. It's $130 million just for the Northeast BC, but you got $3.2 billion to the province. People go where jobs grow. We're going to see decreased vacancies. We're going to see increasing rents. This is the cycle. When I invested in Fort McMurray, I invested in 2015. No, I invested in 1996. From 1996 through 1998, it went down and down. And everyone that knew me and knew that I invested looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" And honestly, when it went up, it skyrocketed. So I believe, looking at the green shoots and the activity that's going on, as I always tell anyone that knows me, activity breeds results. And I'm believing that we're going to see a great horizon. So right now, if we go to Fort St. John or Dawson Creek and we try to find a place to rent, or we try to find a place to buy, or we're looking in the marketplace, what's happened is supply side has been completely constrained. There's no more people building houses. There were no housing starts in the first quarter. This is what happens in small markets. So if you are an opportunist, if you believe that what you're seeing in LNG is going to happen, now couldn't be a better time to buy. I know, who wants to fly up to Fort St. John to look after their suite, especially when it's -40? So what do? We have an incredible after asset management program for you. What we have arranged is to work with a local property management company that's very well known in the community. They manage over 2,500 units in the region, and they deal with a lot of investors. So the program that we've negotiated is not only really good fees for our clients, flat fee of $50 a month, they also have a lot of activity. When the market picks up, they know it, and they're the first that are being approached for rentals. Western Canadian Properties Group spends a lot of time looking after its clients, more than any other developer I've worked with, and I've worked with over 15 throughout the years. They've developed a corporate rental leasing program, and they are in touch with all of the executives in these corporations that are coming up there. Pipeline companies, we've been told by our property manager that the pipeline companies are going to be bringing up between 2,000 and 3,000 workers over the next 2 to 3 years to start building out all of these investments. On another note, what happens if your suite's vacant? How do you work with corporations? How are you going to manage a furniture program? All of this is within our package for a very, very low fee. So what it means is that you can get those good corporate rentals. If your suite's vacant, you're getting money because you're sharing that risk amongst all the other investors. So it's a really, really good program. As I said, Western Canadian Properties Group has done an amazing job looking after their clients.